Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Virgo. So Virgo, as usual, I'm doing your reading with my own deck of cards. So the cards that you'll see are from this deck, and I'm just laughing a little bit because usually when I sit down here to record a reading, I usually do my prayers and my mantras and my own. Just settling down to allow the energy to flow, right? It's like this calling in for the message to flow clearly so that you can receive the highest good of this message. So, but beyond that, what I usually do, I was just chuckling because I was saying, like, I usually use the same deck, but something different from the usual that I did before your reading, before just hitting record, was stretching a little bit. And I feel like it has to do with the energy that I'm seeing coming through your reading today, Virgo. I feel like you are somehow either stiff or needing some stretching, or needing some amplification of the body, right? It's like there is this breathing of the body that needs to happen. And the reason for that, let's just go straight into the cards, is because of this Four of Swords. This Four of Swords felt like a very cozy bed where you're asleep and you don't want to really wake up, right? It felt like just elongating a little bit further your nap time or your sleep time, right? Or your moment of rest. Or even if we are talking about stretching, right? Or meditating or any type of slow practice, it's like you want to stay there longer. It's almost like you are so tuned in, right? Spiritually, so tuned in to your body that you are sensing how it needs a little bit more of like deeper attention, or it still needs a little bit more, right, of that 5 minutes longer in your bed, right? But with this Judgment card, I hope you can hear actually what I'm hearing from this card, because it's almost like this alarm sounding or this knock on the door. Actually came more so as a knock on the door, just because of the sound that I was seeing, I was hearing coming from this hammer touching the ground, right? So touching this plaque or whatever it's called. It's like there is this sound that creates this disturbance. It feels like just like this helicopter flying by right now, right? It's like this sound disturbing your peace, your high frequency, I want to say, or just your internal knowing, right? This just this it's like listening to the spirit's need to respect this moment of rest or to elongate it, right? But there's something else there. It's like despite your ability to tune into your body and know how much stretch it needs, right? Or how much it's like it's even your because there is this comparison, I want to say, between your higher self, right? Your higher consciousness and your energy level of the body, which is interesting because I feel like it's like your spirit is saying rest a little bit more, or let yourself just sleep 5 minutes more, right? Because it's like it's what your higher self is saying that you need right now. But it's almost like there is this pressing issue, this urgent task, and it's more than just a day-to-day task, but that is also showing up here, right? So maybe there is like this knock on your door about something that you need to resolve, right? If we're talking about something interrupting your moment of rest and slowing down. But there's also like this alarm sounding that feels a little bit more like your own self responsibility, or your own, it's almost like you're, even though you are tuned in, right? It's like there is like something, perhaps it's like this like the duties that you know that you need to fulfill, right? It's like it's coming more, even though, yes, to me, usually the major arcana in the tarot are reflecting like the universal mind, right? It's like they're touching this higher energy, this higher consciousness. It's like this is what you are touching, Virgo, but here it's more like it's coming through as a responsibility, right? So maybe if it's not somebody knocking on your door, it's just somebody like it's not somebody, it's you, right? Just setting this alarm so that you don't get lost in this other realm, right? And I feel like it has to do with this pressing issue, or this necessity to charge up, right? So with another four, but this time the Four of Wands, right? It's like it's replacing the swords, or replacing the meditative waves, or the spiritual practice, or the sleep waves, right? It's like replacing the swords by this energy, by this fuel, by this, it's coming through as incandescent lamp, right? It's like there's something that you need to light up, right? Like a match, but this is your energy. It's interesting how these fours, right, are representing like it's almost like this personal space, right? It's like your own personal boundaries, right? So this is your spiritual boundary in a sense, or your spiritual body, and this is your energetic body. And because of some sort of responsibility, or some sort of just duty, right, that you feel like you have to do it, you have to, you know, leave this state so that you can let yourself up. It's almost like this rest was needed so you had the energy to light up your energetic body, right? But this feels like it's like if you could only stay here a little longer, it's like you would find more energy for yourself. The reason why I'm saying that is because of these two cards that are following. Because we have the King of Swords and then the Page of Wands, right? Again, swords and wands. So it feels like at the level of judgment, meaning at the level of your responsibilities, at the level of what you have set out for yourself, right? The tasks that you have, right, to fulfill, right? Or to just to take care of, right, in that day. It's like at that level, right? It's like you are mindful that you have the spiritual energy, but you also have like this combustion energy, right? That gives you just the drive to do it, right? It's like here they are the same. It's like the body, it's like there is, you know, the body is expanding the same way, right? It's like they have the same size, they are coherent, they are in balance, they are it's like they are, well, one thing is fueling the other, right? So here, because I feel like there is something that your spirit is also sending you some sort of message, maybe some intuitive message that you needed some time, but still there's something that it's like you had already agreed to it, right? Now it's coming through as like agreement. You had agreed to fulfill this responsibility. So even though you feel like your spirit needed, or your body, right, needed a little bit more rest, it's like this was already agreed upon. So it's like you have to, it's almost like you have to try to balance out these two energies, because there is this, I want to say, big discrepancy, right, between the spiritual energy and then the energetic level, right? It's almost like, this is now coming through as like when you are so immersed in your sleep, right? When you are so inside this theta zone, or whatever zone or whatever wavelength you reach when you are asleep, right? It's like this highest wavelength where your spirit, it's like your spirit takes over, right? And it feels like you're having like this very realistic, very vivid dream. Maybe you've had that experience, Virgo. But when you are, awakened by some sort of pressing thing, right? Before it was the proper time, it feels like your energetic body or your soul, right? It takes a while for you to be back inside your physical body, right? But there are responsibilities to be fulfilled, right? With the 10 of Pentacles, this 10 of Pentacles, it's like, even though there is this, like, the higher mind is completely awakened, it's like it's like you're thinking straight, right? It's more like it's like your brain is awake, right? Your mind is awake. You know that you have to get out of bed. You know that you have to get out of your meditation cushion, right? But your body or your energetic level, right, is not, even though this is what you're being called to do, right, to light up your energy level. It's like, still, if this is the pressing matter, right, if this is the thing that you have at hand, it's almost like maybe you're having a little bit of a hard time doing so, because it's like maybe you haven't charged up fully, right? It's like just like the battery of a cell phone, right? If it takes, like, I don't know, 5 hours to charge 100% of the battery, right? It's like you had only 4 hours of this, time. So it's like there are still a bit more to go so that your energy level can be at the fullest, right? Because with the 10 of Pentacles, the interesting thing, and now actually I'm going to add already the last card, because it's like this confirmation of what I'm already seeing here, but it's actually the guidance. Because with the 10 of Pentacles, you see that there are two pentacles here in the middle. And then the last card, Virgo, it's the 9 of Pentacles, which is only one pentacle in the center, which feels like it's like this time that it takes so that these two bodies of yours, right, meaning your spirit and your soul, are fully attached, right? Because at first, it's like, as soon as you come back to earth, right, as soon as you wake up to this 3D reality, right, the 10 of Pentacles is coming through as like the surroundings that that are around you, right? It's almost like waking up from the dream and opening your eyes and seeing everything that surrounds you. But it's like seeing also that there is this fragmentation happening, because it's like your two bodies are not completely in the same level. It's like they're still separated, right? But it's almost like, that's the interesting thing also. The spirit has the highest vibration, right? And the denser it gets to the physical, right? It's almost like the time it takes It's like it's longer, right? It's like the mind understands and knows first, right? And I'm saying like mind, but I mean higher mind, right? The spirit mind, the higher self mind. It's not just the physical brain, right? It's almost like this higher consciousness that is inside your brain. So this is represented here by the King of Swords, and it's already here, right? It's already prepared. But the soul, and I want to say the body too, right? They take a little longer, and maybe that is a reason why you wanted to stay in bed for a little longer, right? But it's almost like, but this has to happen, right? It's like there is some sort of responsibility here on earth that requires your attention, requires your presence, and it's like your wake state presence, right? It's not just your spirit. It's like your spirit, soul, and body have to be united so that you can begin your day in a sense, right? It's not just, it's almost like, so this 10 of Pentacles is coming through as like, you know, that first opening of the eyes when you wake up, right? From a very deep sleep, I want to say, right? When you were so immersed in that dream that you couldn't know what was real or not, right? So waking up here, it's almost like you have to make sense of the things that are surrounding you so that you can then, it's like so that your soul can come back to your body, and then your body can move in this space, right, in these surroundings in a way that feels like it takes a little bit of time. It's not instant. It's not like you're jumping out of bed and straight into doing whatever you have to do in that day, right? It's almost like allow your body to, well, that's the thing about the first thing that I was doing before your reading, right? It's like, you know, maybe you do have like this ritual of prayers before you wake up or before you leave your bed, but then I would say, as an encouragement, as the guidance that I'm seeing here, Virgo, it's like allow yourself to move your body in a way that it's almost like giving space, right? Opening up the space so that in stretching, it's like you can fully give yourself the time so that not only your spirit can come back, but also like your soul. It's almost like this falling of the pieces, right, into their rightful place, which is you. It's like all of these levels of your consciousness, of your being, it's like they have to come back in a united way, right? So that you can move through this physical vessel, but without feeling like you are falling apart or that you cannot, it's like you cannot move, right? Isn't that like sleep paralysis, right? It's like you don't want that, right? Because you're now it's like now you are awake to this physical reality, and that physical reality requires a physical vessel, a physical body, right? So in order for you to move, right, it feels like this is the start of the day. The 9 of Pentacles, it's the start of the day, but the only way that you can do so, right, is if you are, it's like with all of your bodies, with all of your levels of being, it's like integrated into one, right? So yeah, if you're feeling a little bit like off, you know, as if you could have, you know, taken a little bit of sleep or, you know, stayed in bed for a little longer, I would say that would be the best move for you, Virgo, so that you can fully recharge, right? But I'm going to pull more cards for you. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you, and the link is down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.